Search arbitrage made a few people to millionaires, but search arbitrage made also a few people very poor. And the reason is simple. It's complicated and hard to get search arbitrage campaigns profitable with native advertising platforms like Taboola and Outbrain. In this video, I want to share with you an extremely valuable guide about search arbitrage and how you can get profitable within 60 days. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of Purple Black, a native advertising only agency. What we're doing on a daily basis is we run profitable performance marketing campaigns on native advertising traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, Gemini, and many more. And we also run arbitrage campaigns. And as I've mentioned already in a video in the past, there are two kinds of arbitrage. There's content arbitrage, which are all these kind of scammy images where you see, okay, these are the 9 pictures from your Yahoo which you will never see again or something like this, and then you click, and the advertiser or the marketer is getting paid for every click you do. So this is content arbitrage, but today we are speaking about search arbitrage. And search arbitrage is when you see these are the 9 cheapest cruise geos you can go for. And then you click to a website, and this is more or less just a park domain, and there you will have some search results. And if somebody is clicking on one of these links, then you get paid. This is called search arbitrage, and it's working extremely well with native advertising traffic from platforms like Taboola and Outbrain, but also from some smaller networks like, for example, MJD, Ref Content, and whatever. So the idea why this is working extremely well with native advertising traffic is simple. Because the traffic cost, the CPC, the cost per click, are way cheaper if you compare it with, for example, Google or Meta. This is the first thing. And the other thing is, usually on native you have an older audience, and these kind of people, they are more interested in valuable search results. And the funnel in general makes more sense for older audience, for people who are news websites, who are like 45 plus, instead of a young audience which is on TikTok, for example. So I stick already with the cruises sample, but there are way more, like for example, solar panel for roof, car, like used cars, and way more. And things like cruises or used cars or solar roofs, this is also called keywords. And I'm pretty sure if you run already in the past, or if you're still running Google search ads, you are familiar with keywords and you know it's everything about keywords. And here it's the same. It's everything about keywords. You can have an excellent campaign on Taboola or Outbrain, which is highly optimized. But if your keyword sucks, it's extremely hard to get this campaign profitable. And on the other hand side, if you have a mediocre campaign, like mediocre campaign management, mediocre everything, but you have an excellent keyword, then the chances are very high that you will make a lot of money. So keywords are the key to your success, but it's also way more. You have to understand how to use search arbitrage correctly, and on the other hand side, how to set up the campaigns, how to optimize them, how to read the data, and everything like this. And people reached out to me in the last year, and I received honestly a lot of messages because of this YouTube channel here, when people ask me like, hey, I burned already tons of money on search arbitrage. How can I get this thing profitable? And therefore we decided to make a guide. But before I want to start with this, I want to mention something. The guide is part of our paid community program. Our paid community program not just includes this guide, but way more things for search arbitrage, content arbitrage, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, and lead gen. You will not just have exclusive access to extremely valuable content which you are unable to find out somewhere else. You will also have access to a like-minded community. You can ask my employees and me some questions if you're stuck with something. So it's a real community. It's a community we can ask questions, where we will have regular bi-weekly calls. We can also ask myself, my team, and other people around to get support, to squeeze out the maximum performance, to squeeze out the best results for your campaigns. And of course, we will also have some special offers, special deals, there are software recommendations, and everything you need to make your native advertising campaigns profitable. So long story short, it's part of our community, of our Native Ads Society program. And now let's jump on my screen and take a look at it. Here is the table of content from our huge search arbitrage guide in combination with native advertising traffic for 2024. And again, this is just a table of content, but I will explain you a bit more and give you a few details to share some valuable insights already here in this video. So we will start with a brief overview what search arbitrage. We will explain you exactly how it's working because I'm pretty sure you have heard about search arbitrage already, but are you really sure that you know 100% how this business model is working? If not, you should definitely read this section here. We will also clarify why the majority of people fail within the first 60 days, why there is so much competition and why, even though there's a huge competition, many people fail and their results sucks. So we will take a look about that. And of course, we'll also give you the tips how you can avoid these kind of problems and how you will get profitable within the first 60 days or less, of course. And yeah, here we will just give you a little insight for a look to use traffic sources like Taboola and Outbrain, like native advertising traffic source, to get profitable. And now we'll skip a bit to give you just the golden nuggets here. So this we already mentioned, and here's a very interesting point at chapter 2. It's about choosing the right market for arbitrage. And we all know the USA is a tier 1 country, and it's usually that country where the majority of people, they want to advertise in because it's the US, it's famous, you know. And yeah, USA are a huge market, but the USA is also a very competitive market because almost everybody wants to advertise in the US. Not just the people and the marketers from the US, but also marketers from Europe, from Asia, from everywhere. They want to advertise in the US. So that means it's a highly competitive market, and I would definitely not recommend you to start with this very, very competitive market, like, for example, the USA in the beginning. Instead of that, it makes sense to find promising markets, like, for example, South America, Eastern Europe, or also Europe in general. Countries like France or Italy, they're huge, or Spain. These countries are huge, but they have way less competition and you can get way faster profitable. Of course, it's not the case that you have the same volume like in the US, but these countries are still very huge. I mean, I'm from Europe. For me, I'm from a small country in Europe. And I know, for example, Spain is a way, way larger country. So these countries are large, but of course not that large like the US. But of course, less competition, cheaper CPCs, cheaper CPMs. And again, usually you can get faster profitable with that. And also in Southeast Asia, there are some very interesting upcoming markets at this time. We'll also show you some case studies about non-US markets, like how is it working and how this should or would have went if we would have started with the US. And it's also important to understand the local market dynamics. Like there's not just the language difference, because I mentioned now Spain as a country, and maybe you're from the US and you know Spanish because you're from Florida or whatever. But however, there is more. There's also a different user behavior, different culture thing. And you also have to be aware of this if you run native ads. We will also give you here an overview about Taboola and Outbrain. And of course, we will give you a step-by-step guide how you can create a campaign with Taboola ads, with Outbrain ads. We will give you samples how to create compelling content like headlines, images, and everything what's necessary. We will give you in the hand the structure like you need, like free headlines, free images, this kind of stuff. We will also take a look about targeting techniques, if it makes sense to use something like interest-based targeting or not. We will take a look into the demographics, into the user behavior, and of course, we will spend a huge amount of time into A/B testing and to analyze everything, because marketing is on the one hand side, the creative part, but on the other hand side, it's also about the data analyzed part. So you have to be capable and you have to be able to also read the data correctly and interpret the data correctly. And this is something we will do here in our A/B testing section. Then we will jump to chapter 4, which is creating the landing pages, which you will use and which you will need here for search arbitrage. And of course, we will also take a look about optimization, because first we spoke about how to create campaigns, like the basics, but afterwards, after you run these campaigns, you also have to optimize the campaigns. So we will take a look how or which strategies are the most cost effective for your traffic, to buy the traffic, and how you can find the right amount between a good quality and the low price, because the lowest price is not always the worst quality and vice versa. But you also usually have to avoid all this bot traffic, all the push traffic, because this kind of traffic is usually not converting for you. And we will, of course, also take a look into keyword research. We will also provide you some keyword lists here, because the keywords are key. The keywords are key if you run search arbitrage, because you can have the best campaign setup, but if your keyword sucks, you will not get this campaign profitable. And if you have a mediocre campaign on the other hand side, if you have a mediocre campaign and you have an excellent keyword, it will be profitable. So therefore the keywords are key, and we can provide you here some lists with keywords. So therefore it's highly, highly relevant. We will also speak again about all the data analytics and how you take data-driven decisions. And of course, what to do, what to avoid, and how you can scale up successful campaigns, how you scale up at Taboola, how you scale up at Outbrain. The behavior from these platforms are a bit differently. You can scale up campaigns differently at Taboola than on Outbrain. You cannot directly just copy and paste the campaign knowledge here. And of course, we will also give you a conclusion, like what to do next, and so on and so forth. So this is just a brief look into our huge search arbitrage guide, which you will find in our society, in our community. Now you've seen a small part, just a table of content from our guide, from our white paper. And this one is huge. This is everything what you need, besides of the accounts, of course, from the traffic source and from the providers. But this is everything what you need to make search arbitrage profitable. And also with the other things like ad accounts and everything you need here, we can support you with our community program. As I mentioned, you're unable to buy this guide by itself, but it's part of our community program. So if you want to join our community program, check out the link in the description, or just type in learning.purple-black.com. Again, it's learning.purple-black.com. And you can sign up for a membership. You can cancel it whenever you want it, whenever you feel a need. It's not worth it anymore. But our main goal here is to support you and to help you to get your campaigns profitable. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course when you subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to receive an update when I upload a new video about nothing but native here on YouTube. Have a good one. See you next time.